Hi, welcome back to Tao of Twang on Patreon. I'm Dave. It's Rhythm Day. I've been getting requests for it, and here it is. Now, this is going to have different meaning to folks at different stages of their playing and learning and stuff, right? But wherever it falls in your world, give it a shot. Go ahead and go through it because when's the last time that you really stopped and just paid attention to even just an eighth note? I mean, really paid attention to it and really got into it. And when you listen to a lot of classic rock and stuff, sometimes the simplest rhythm is the coolest thing, for that song. But it's not like it's just like, that's going to be easy. Let's just kind of throw that in there. You know, it there's a you can get all kinds of feeling. It's kind of a cool challenge to see how much you can put into something real simple like that, and that will help you kind of do other rhythmic things where kind of leave beats out and start to syncopate a little bit like I did as I went through those few times around in the demonstration there. Now, um, I'm doing it at 101 beats per minute with this GarageBand sequencer. Use any device you have, set up a drum beat, whatever. I used this, I picked this loop that was just very simple. It's just, you can almost hear like, you know, a dozen classic songs about to kick in, right? Just playing that beat, right? Boom. And, just get warmed up with eighth notes. Now, I'm going straight down at first. We used to call that chomping, but everybody's got a pet name for it. But it's just, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. And real quick, I guess we can tell you these chords just so, for the sake of kind of keeping it simple throughout the lesson. I'm really using like a power chord voicing most of the time, like roots and fifths, but it would be F sharp minor, D, and then just back. The third time, up to that E, okay? So this is funner than you think, because once you really get in there and start, like I said, really paying attention to it and really making something out of it, it kind of comes alive in a different way. And then we'll do a little bit of kind of, pushing the second chord. Okay, that's another kind of, basic rhythmic skill that you want to have, a means of practicing. And then just as a little preview, then we'll get right to it. The third time around, I don't know if I did it every time, but I was laying off the downbeat on the D chord and going like an eighth note behind it, right? So like a slight delay, like. So see, you start putting a couple of little elements in there, and it it takes on another, layer of sound and groove and stuff, right? And then you can, mess around with your own progressions and different chords and stuff, different grooves, and kind of alternate these three ideas in there. So there's the straight eight, the pushed eight, we'll call it, and the delayed or behind the downbeat. On the first and third chord, the F sharp and the E, I'm always doing more of a straight thing, and sometimes that's cool. Sometimes you just have one chord in there that um, um, is pushed or hesitated. I guess is maybe a better word than delayed. All right, now get warmed up. I can put a loop of this drum beat on there, but even better, like, get used to using your devices. Get something, just a sequencer or even a free shareware thing online that makes beats or has loops, and get used to like setting up yourself to practice this stuff, right? I'm doing it 101 beats per minute right now. So let's put that loop on. The first thing we're going to do is really just go for this eighth note chomping, all down picks. Stay on one chord at first. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4. So it's slowed down a little bit. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The emphasis is on the snare drum. Boom, bop, boom, boom, bop. And my eyebrows. Okay. So, little nuanced things, you don't have to, kind of be too caught up in these, some of these, techniques, but notice I'm kind of holding this one down for kind of constant, and I'm muting a lot with the heel of my right hand. But on whether you use your pinky or your ring finger for the fifth, see how I'm pulsing that with the snare? 1, 2, and 3, and 4. That just helps get that kind of, chunky, muty sound, when you and just go off to the side and just practice that stuff. That's what this lesson is for. It's not a song. It's not something where you have to just, memorize anything really. It's an investigation and kind of just taking these one at a time steps to really kind of, I guess, kind of clean up the rhythm, but also get really locked in terms of groove. So there's your first kind of round of routine here. Because of the key that this in, I'm able to kind of let that E kind of bounce around in between the chords. A lot of progressions will lend itself to that on different string sets and stuff. Just it let it be part of the groove. So see that last that and of 4, a lot of times I'm just kind of letting my hand go, gives me time to reset, and I just kind of let whatever sound the guitar makes happen. Well, that's starting to feel good. So then on the E, it happens that I have an octave below. I can kind of let that, resonate a little bit. And if I don't want that, I can do different methods of muting. I can keep it real. muted down here, right? So you have the two hands working together. There's just so much that you can do, and so much that we may just kind of overlook or take for granted that we're not really paying attention to, right? The point is not to pay attention to it to where it's a distraction for you musically and you're just kind of like getting up in your head about it, right? It's repetition of feeling it in your body, right? Notice after a while, I started to really, my shoulders got loose, right? It's not really about my hand anymore. My hand's just kind of the last thing in line. It's my whole body. Okay. So I'm using a pretty clean sound. If you use a little dirtier sound or a little chunky sound, then you get even more of kind of vibe off of it. I'm just doing that to make sure that you can hear clearly. Now, the second kind of routine, or the first thing that kind of changed up on it, was what I'll call a push on the second chord. So it was. I'm still doing the chomping, the going down with the pick. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But that's the and of 4 from the first chord, right? And I'm already on the D, right? So now I've got the feel is like. And again, that junk in the middle, let it all happen, right? Mute, keep practicing this, right? Like, I mean, repeat it, right? Don't stop and try to fix it and, get too microscopic about it. Just keep going, right? And let your body take over. So slow down. See, now, and then you start, especially when you slow down, you start naturally kind of dancing in there a little bit more, right? You put a few more little, emphasis, and kind of you start to feel like where the pulsing and the stuff that you're doing on each chord is about leading to the next one. That's grooving, right? So a lot of that, will naturally happen in your own way, your own language. So I don't want to, don't try to copy, me exactly on that. I'm just slowing it down so you can kind of see an example of kind of getting into the groove like that. So there's kind of the straight 8 thing. Then there's the pushed feel. I only did it on the D. You could mess around with other progressions and try it out. And then there's the hesitation, right? And in this one, I'm going to lay off the downbeat of the second chord. Okay, so I'm going to go. Now, I could do, I guess, just a chord, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah, maybe that's how I should have demonstrated. I don't do that, though. I guess I'm just in the habit of, I always put like a little lick right there for that part. But you see what I'm saying? You can, just like you can jump it by an 8th note, you can hesitate by an 8th note. But you don't kind of continue over. I'm letting a rest happen there. I'm not just kind of staying down here and playing extra stuff of the other chord. Right? Moving on, but hesitating till that and of 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And that when you make that hesitation, your body, slow it down, you'll naturally start to like syncopate the rest of that measure in different ways and stuff, right? And just experiment with that. What I did in the intro specifically was 2 and 3 and 4 now, if you count all that out, it's still eighth notes, but it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then when I'm sliding, there's the and, right? But, hopefully you can just kind of feel that. Here it is with the track. I love the hesitation one. Okay. And then I'm just doing a little rocking around with my pinky there and stuff. Do your thing. Turn that off. When I go up to that E, sometimes, still 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and boom, boom, pinky, boom, boom, pop, boom, boom, pop, boom, boom, pop. Right? In open position. See, now that we've been working with this for a little bit, it sounds like more than just the things that I verbalized, right? There's a vibe. There's all kinds of different things we can do. The difference is when it moves from your head to your body. It changes everything. It all changes. Um, and that's a good thing. But slow it down, go back, do whatever analysis you need to, with this stuff. But the thing that has to happen, in my opinion, is you have to put that beat on, and you have to keep going and work it out. And if it's kind of not locked in, or you think it's kind of crappy or whatever for a while, just keep going. Right? Don't try to figure it all out in your head. That's it. You you want a little bit of that and a lot of letting it go, right? So, the last thing I'm going to mention, this one turned out a little bit longer than I thought, but uh, hopefully you can really get some ideas from this. Is after a while, I kind of let up and kind of let my hand do more of an up down strum, but keeping the same type of view. Then it's kind of harder for me to stay in that like straight eight thing. I tend to do like the push and the hesitation more, right? And I'm really getting loose because I'm going up and down. And maybe we'll do another one where we, feature more of that. There's some stuff on the YouTube channel, a lot of the jam band stuff. I do more of that kind of thing. But today I wanted to really get you something where you could kind of take it step by step and really, kind of make a plan for these grooves. Hopefully this helps. Let me know how you're doing with everything. Appreciate all the support. Talk to you next week.